good afternoon. How y'all all doing on this Monday? Happy Monday. And I hope that your Monday has been going well so far. I am back. This is Meaningful Intuitive Guided Tarot here, coming back to you for another reading. I will say that this reading will kind of be like a spin-off or an extension to the reading I unfortunately had to cover pertaining to Lisa Marie Presley's passing recently. And as you can tell by the title, that there seems to be, unfortunately, a family battle that's going on behind this $35 million life trust insurance that Lisa Marie Presley left as her daughter, Riley Keough, to be the beneficiary. And so that is not really sitting well and going well for Lisa Marie Presley's mom, Priscilla Presley. I understand that she has in fact went to the courts to file a petition against this. And as we get more into it, you will understand what this is all about. But I recently have been seeing this story or this type of information going back and forth. And so I thought I would just kind of dip into it. I spread cards to see what it was. I also intuitively kind of picked up and tried to channel what is going on. What is Priscilla Presley's intentions? What is her motive behind wanting to be very active in pursuing this? And so with that being said, guys, I am here. If you are as well, like myself, that was curious to see what it's all about and how all of this will play out. And ultimately, will Priscilla be the one that will wind up benefiting from this life insurance that she left supposedly for her daughter, Riley Keough? Okay, so that is what we're going to talk about. And so I'm going to begin first by mentioning that before we actually get into my tools to tarot cards, I'm going to first read to you guys what I channeled when I was kind of figuring out what is going on. So I'm going to start off first with my intuitive interpretation of what I received in terms of the messages that came through, and then we will follow through with the visual effects with my tarot, the tools, my tarot, for you guys to see how all of this comes together and how I came up or felt intuitively how things has turned out, and the cards will just be in conjunction with what I sense intuitively. Alright guys, so like I said, for emphasis, this is a battle that is currently brewing between Priscilla and Lisa Marie Presley's daughter, Riley Keough. And basically this is, as I said, about a life insurance trust and basically a trust is designed to be the owner or beneficiary of one's life insurance. And so obviously before Lisa Marie Presley's passing, she did in fact, back in 2010, she did in fact put out this type of trust that we are speaking about, that the mother, Priscilla, is trying to tweak and change something about it. And like I said, she did put out a petition or file a petition recently. But as we get into it, we're going to see exactly what this all means. Why is she doing this? And whether or not she will have a chance of ultimately getting control or becoming the beneficiary. All right, guys. So first, like I said, I wrote down notes after I channel. I wrote down my thoughts and what I felt, and then we're going to go into the cards. Okay, so let's start. So ultimately, I have here that Priscilla Presley felt very hurt and disappointed that Lisa did not add her as the main beneficiary to her life insurance or being like a proxy to it. Priscilla also felt that she should have discussed that, but of course Lisa made the decision or automatically felt that the life insurance should be left to her daughter Riley. I also picked up that Lisa Marie and her mom's relationship wasn't as close as some may have thought. Okay, their relationship wasn't as tight as it may be perceived or how it come across when you see pictures of them in the past, and when you just see them together, their relationship wasn't tight. They didn't have a close bond as you may think. And that's what I kind of picked up as well. I also feel that the mother-daughter bond, like I said, wasn't as close. But I also felt that the bond between Lisa and her mom was more tighter and closer when she was younger, like as a little girl. But then I felt that as she got older, into her late teens and early 20s, that their relationship drifted apart gradually, and that Lisa gradually kind of drifted away from her mother, Priscilla. So basically, their bond grew further and further apart. I also felt that Priscilla judged Lisa very harshly or very hardly, and that she was a strict parent, and felt that Lisa Marie felt, for the most part, that, that Priscilla felt that Lisa Marie was a spoiled, rotten child. That's what I felt when I was channeling the energy and the attitude of what and how Priscilla felt about Lisa, that she felt that she was a spoiled child. And I felt, like I said, that she was very strongly strict on Lisa Marie. Okay? Now, fast forwarding to this battle drama, Priscilla feels that things will go in her favor pertaining to this reversing of this life insurance going to her. She feels that the courts will rule in her favor of receiving this money and not to Lisa Marie's daughter, Riley. I see that her intentions and motive behind this is very selfish and low vibrational behavior. Why I say that is because it stems back to, unfortunately, her late husband, Elvis Presley. She feels that because she was married to him, and after his death, that everything should rightfully go to her. The house, everything that was connected to Elvis, she should have, including his royalties, his image rights, anything connected to him, she always felt from the jump that she would be entitled to it. Even somehow I feel that this life insurance somehow spilt over, somehow from Lisa Marie Presley's father, Elvis, somehow. And again, I felt that Lisa Marie, but again, I feel that Lisa Marie, regardless, wanted this life insurance to ultimately go to her daughter, Riley, or her children. Any offsprings of hers, she wanted it to go to them, as opposed to, anyone else, which rightfully so, right? Because when you think about life insurance, as we get older and we think about in the event of our passing, who do you want the money to go to? You would think about, leaving it for your children so that they will have some type of financial security, right? So this is how Lisa Marie felt, that ultimately it should be given to her daughter. So Priscilla feels or felt that she should have been in control where matters of such as this was involved. So Priscilla's controlling behavior and attitude is selfish, or even condescending when it comes toward Lisa Marie. But rightfully so, Lisa felt like this life insurance ultimately should be awarded or should be left as is, as she put it before her passing, to her daughter. And by doing so, this way she would feel that in fact that her child would be taken care of and be financially secure. Winding down this battle now. So I'm just trying to, here, I'm always not understanding my own handwriting. Anyway, so winding down this battle in terms of the outcome is that Priscilla will begin to see that she may win this battle, and that it's not hers for the taking. Despite her attempts to block Riley from getting this life insurance, Riley will continue to fight against her grandmother Priscilla being turned over to her or from altering this legal documentation. Riley isn't, I feel, putting up a hard fight because she knows or may have been informed by her legal team that more than likely the courts will honor this trust that her mother had in place, and that nothing will ultimately change or be tweaked or altered by her grandmother. I feel that ultimately the courts will honor and respect Lisa Marie's wishes into having this life insurance to remain as being in her daughter, being the main beneficiary. And after waiting to see, because Priscilla will wait, I feel that this legal battle, excuse me, I feel that this legal battle is going to take some time before everything kind of become to some kind of decision based upon it. And I feel that it may also be something challenging, which I feel it is very challenging as far as Priscilla Presley trying to be very active about going after this. What else? I feel that later on, after some time, now in terms of how long this may take, when we are talking about matters and legal situations as this is something that cannot be resolved or figured out in a matter of weeks. Sometimes it takes months. It may even take up a year or two before things can finally see some type of clarity in terms of really what the courts will decide ultimately at the end, right? So, but I do feel somehow, and I'm going to stick with what I feel, I just feel that when everything is said and done and completed, when the legal process has been completed, I do feel that nothing will be changed. I feel that Lisa Marie Presley's daughter, Riley, will in fact be the beneficiary pertaining to this life insurance trust. And I feel that somehow Priscilla will, after waiting, that she will get a message somehow verifying that things will not change. And ultimately it looks like she will not win this battle. But as we know, things can change. Nothing is set in stone. Okay? Now, I do want to mention right before we jump into the cards that, as emphasis, that before Lisa Marie passing, she did, where is it? Because, well, okay, let me just see here. Now, guys, excuse me, because when I start channeling and getting downloads and the messages, I just start to write, and then sometimes I can't even understand my own writing. But I'm just trying to make sense of what it is that I'm having here. So I have here that because of California laws, because Priscilla did file a petition in LA pertaining to this situation. So Priscilla attested the fact that Lisa Marie had previously named her mom as well as Lisa's former business manager as co-trustees back in 2010. But Lisa Marie in 2016, she put an amendment into place that the trust would in fact go to her daughter Riley and her son and her late son Benjamin, and that Priscilla filed a petition in Los Angeles questioning the authenticity and the validity of that 2016 amendment, because it will be that Riley would act as a trustee alone under that 2016 amendment, and that the one that was initially put in place in 2010, it was going to be both shared by Priscilla and Riley acting as co-trustees. I hope you guys understood that. So, what does this mean, and how could this potentially be a slight win in Priscilla's favor? It really depends upon the courts in terms of if they're going to go by the petition, the original amendment back in 2010, if they're going to follow that, or if there have been changes made, because also it was said that Priscilla said that Lisa Marie did not make her aware of the changes that she did in 2016. And if that is in fact the case, and if California law says that she somehow reneged on that, making her mother aware of the changes, then that would in fact make everything kind of go more toward Priscilla. Okay, so it really depends on if the procedures of that amendment will remain in place, or if they will in fact go by the new amendment from 2016. So it's based upon the 2016 amendment, the 2010 amendment that was originally there as having Priscilla and Riley as co-trustees, or if it will be based upon the new amendment that Lisa put into place in 2016. So it really depends on the court. And so again, if the law says to follow the procedures and what is mentioned in that amendment, then and only then will Priscilla be ultimately, perhaps it will work out in her favor. But again, nothing is set in stone, and so we really have to see how things will play out. But overall, I still feel, and I'm going to stick to it, that I feel that this is going to be a very challenging battle moving ahead for her. It's going to be very challenging. It's not going to be easy for her to just come in and try to just kind of alter and change things regardless of this petition that she filed. So now with that being said, that was what I picked up intuitively. Now I'm going to give you guys the visual effects and how I came up and felt the way I felt in terms of my interpretation of what is going on. So the first card that came out was the Five of Pentacles, along with the Three of Swords. What does this mean? This means, like I mentioned before, if you recall, I mentioned that Priscilla, in fact, felt very hurt and disappointed that her daughter didn't put her as beneficiary on that life insurance. So this just pretty much, very much shows how she feels. By the way, I just want you to know that Priscilla Presley's sign is an air sign, so she is a Gemini, okay? Also, Riley is also, believe it or not, an air sign, being of Gemini. So if you will, we are having two battles between two air signs, Gemini versus the Gemini, right? So anytime that I show you and bring up to you anything pertaining to swords, that is pertaining to Priscilla, because there's only one card that I feel that pertains to Riley. But any swords cards that I pull up and show you, it's Priscilla, okay, because she is of air sign, and swords represents the air signs. So with that being said, now that we know how she felt, we move down here to the next set of cards. We have here Judgment, and we have here the Eight of Cups. Remember earlier, if you recall, that I felt that the bond and relationship between Lisa Marie and her mom wasn't as close and tight as one may think, right? So despite you seeing them in public in the past, despite their pictures and so forth, I feel that their relationship kind of drifted apart later on. Maybe when Lisa Marie was in her early 20s, middle 20s, I feel that the relationship, because overall, we have the Judgment here, which means that I feel, like I mentioned, that her mom, Priscilla, was very strict on her, very controlling, and would judge her. But ultimately also felt that she felt a certain way about her daughter, that she was spoiled, and like, you know, but ultimately Priscilla wanted to be in control of everything when it comes to her daughter. And Lisa knew that. And I think because of that controlling behavior and the way her mom was, I think she just pretty much wanted to just distance herself from her mom. And because of that as well, this is why I feel that when it came to certain legal things, such as what is going on now, is that she kind of kept it to herself, that she didn't really share too much legal things when it came to where it came involving her children or even herself. I really feel that Lisa was trying to protect what she feel she should. It was like, you know, being that mother when it comes to her kids. She really wanted to create a safe haven for them in the event that she passed. And when it came to decisions as a mother toward her kids, when it came there, she felt that she made the best decisions and didn't need the input or opinion from her mom. All right? Now, to clarify the cards that came out, we have Mature Woman. This Mature Woman is, in fact, Priscilla's energy here. And also Family Room. Remember, I mentioned that Priscilla felt that this was something that her and Lisa Marie should have discussed pertaining to beneficiary of the life insurance. So I feel that because we have Mature Woman, that this was something that Priscilla felt ultimately that her and Lisa should have discussed before all of this happened, before things turned out the way they did, because she didn't expect her daughter to pass. But we have Family Room here as well. So this is, like I said, a situation where a discussion, a matter that they felt that they should have discussed at home, wherever it may be, but this is something that Priscilla felt that should have been discussed, and ultimately she felt that she should have been the beneficiary and not Lisa's daughter, Riley. Okay, so that is what I got from the first row. Now we move over to the second row to see what other cards came out. Now we also got the Will card. This action or this attitude is pertaining to Priscilla again. The Will means things going in your favor, things working out. So when it comes to this battle, Priscilla feels and hopes that things will work out in her favor, right? Somehow at this point in time, right now, she's feeling a bit positive that things will shift in her favor at this time, right? Now, as well, the next card that was attached with that was the Seven of Cups. The Cups here is making decisions. To me, this is the decisions of the court. Again, Priscilla feeling that the court will rule in her favor, that they will finally, ultimately give her the answer that she wants. The outcome will be that they will rule in her favor behind this life insurance, okay? But, as I mentioned before, if you recall, I mentioned that Priscilla's attitude toward her daughter was selfish, or is selfish at this time, and maybe even condescending. And why I felt that was because of the devil. The devil card came out, and to me, this describes Priscilla, unfortunately. I have to read the energies. I hate to say that. I'm not saying that she is the devil, but when it comes to, this card can represent many things. You know, generally it's just addictions. It can mean the shadow side of oneself, but in this situation, in this scenario, this could just be selfish actions of oneself, right? The low, vibing on low type of behavior and the attitude toward not only yourself, but to someone else. And to me, this is the attitude that Priscilla had toward her daughter, that she was selfish. Because remember early, I also mentioned that I intuitively picked up that she wants to be in control. You know, so when a person wants to be in control of everything, you know, where money is concerned, it can be kind of selfish, because it's like you don't want to share. You don't want to rightfully see the person or people involved who really generally it should go toward. You feel that it should go to you, but the actions and her intentions behind it, it's not genuine, I would say. Okay, so that's what I got, and that's why I felt that she is selfish when it comes to this situation. She's not thinking about her granddaughter, Riley, and that it would benefit her. You know, it's not like she needs the money. I think that financially she's okay. and I think it's just unfair that she is taking it to this extreme. It's almost like taking food out of the mouth from a child, in that kind of way. And it's like, you have food, you have money, you have your resources and your means. What about Lisa Marie's daughter? She wanted to make sure that her daughter would be taken care of and be financially stable. And so the fact that grandma is kind of, like I said, fighting this, is just really unfair. All right. Now, the next card that came out behind that was the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands, again, is Priscilla Presley's behavior, or just the action she's taking, which means that she's fighting. Now, out of the rest of the reading, the Ten of Wands didn't come out, which means that, to me, the Nine of Wands is like fighting for what it is that you are fighting for. But if the Ten of Wands does not come up in a reading, that means that you may lose the fight and that ultimately you will not win. Okay? Because it's like you are fighting, you are trying your best to go after something so that you can win, and it's like you're almost kind of losing the fight, sort of. Okay, this is what I get behind the Nine of Wands, because Wands deals with fire. It deals with passion, but in this sense, Priscilla is kind of going after something that she really wants, but eventually that fire, that flame that you see, will kind of dim down, because then, like I said, she might begin to see that this is a battle that she cannot take on. Okay? Now, let me just get something to drink. All right. Now, we come down to the next set of cards, and what came out was the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups came out here. When this card came out, I automatically felt this is the late Elvis Presley. But I couldn't understand why it came out and what it was about until I got the clarifiers. And then it made sense. And before I get to the clarifier, let me just also show you what came out behind this. We also have the Ten of Cups that came out. And we have the Death and Rebirth. So let's piece this together. Why did the Nine of Cups come out? Because if you remembered, when I was intuitively explaining to you what I channeled, I felt that, remember, Priscilla always felt that because she was married to Elvis, that she should be or have the rights to everything. Anything that was connected to Elvis, she felt that ultimately she should be in control of, right? And so to clarify that, I got the marriage. The marriage came out. And so I was right. When this came out, it made even more sense. I'm like, this is Elvis. And marriage. She was married to him. And like I said, all of this kind of stems back, unfortunately, back to when she was married, and her and Elvis having, Lisa was just the icing on the cake. But nonetheless, like I said, when it came to the home, when it came to the mansion, when it came to the Graceland estate, anything that was connected to him after his passing, she feels that she should be entitled to it. So that's what I got with this, and this is why the marriage came out. So it really kind of just confirmed for me what I felt. Okay, now, and then we have coffin. So this lets me know that, again, after his passing, that she felt entitled to this. Okay, then we had house to come up. Again, pertaining to Graceland, the mansion. She felt that she should be entitled to that. Then we had expectation. Expectation is her feeling that everything that was connected to my late husband, I should be in control of. It should be expected that I have Graceland Mansion. It should be expected that anything that he left, I would take over and be in control. Okay, that's what I get from that. But going back up to the Ten of Cups and Death, this now speaks about Lisa. Lisa, in fact, wanted, because let's talk about the Ten of Cups and what it means right quick. So the Ten of Cups is the family card. Okay, it speaks about family, children, what have you. Excuse me. So, when it comes to her child, Riley, this is what I'm saying, that in the event of her passing, because we got the death card here in rebirth, in the event of her passing, she in fact wanted to take out a trust or a life insurance that will be left to her daughter. So when you see this card here, it's family. So that lets me know that in fact she preferred it to have gone to her offspring, her child, and not her mom or anyone else. Now, because she did pass on, again, by her passing on, this means that she would feel that she did in fact kind of, as I said, create like a safe haven in the future for her daughter, so that she would be able to not have any worries, if you will, behind her mother's passing. She wanted to put everything in place so that she would be financially secured. All right, so that's what I got. Now, as we shift over to the last set of cards that came out, we have here the Nine of Swords, and we have here the Eight of Swords. Now, remember when I spoke about swords, I said anytime I pick up swords, it's going to be in reference to Priscilla, but that it was one that I felt was Riley. The Eight of Swords is Riley, but the Nine of Swords is Priscilla, because Priscilla, in fact, again, taking on that controlling spirit, she feels that she's above, and in her controlling nature, she is trying to block Riley from receiving this life insurance. But if you look closely at this Eight of Swords, this is Priscilla trying to block any type of interference with her getting this life insurance, right? But as you can see, despite her trying to interfere and block her getting it, this is Riley here, so to speak, figuratively, that is removing herself, right? She is still fighting. She's not going to give up and say, okay, well, this is my grandma, then let me, just leave it at that and let her win. No, she's going to fight. She's going to come out and, still try to fight for what her mother left her, despite that. Now, moving on down, we have here the Knight of Swords. So it's showing that Priscilla is taking action. She's still very in pursuit. This is someone that's in pursuit, going after something. So it shows that she is still currently in pursuit of trying to go after this, regardless that this is, her granddaughter. At this point, she's just kind of feeling herself and just kind of, like I said, moving very selfishly. That is just like the overall energy I get. Selfish and controlling at this point, which is very unfortunate. It's very sad that, families have to find themselves in this type of riffraff and this drama when it comes to it. But this is what happens, particularly with people of fame and fortune. Not really so much fame, but when you are in a family that is about money, this is the situations, this is the problems that come to be, unfortunately, But anyway, she's in pursuit. But this is where things begin to kind of change up a little bit, because behind that, we have here the Five of Swords. So if you look, this person here is like putting his hand to his head, because now there is starting to be stress. So Priscilla, this is Priscilla here. We have the Swords energy. This is Priscilla feeling stressed out about maybe things kind of not quite going the way that she thinks that it's going to go, but also just the waiting to hear back from something. So with the waiting period and maybe hearing some type of feedback, maybe her legal team is kind of telling her, it doesn't look too good, that we have to really fight for this. This is very challenging, and this is going to be something that, has to really be something substantial enough that she will win, but nonetheless it's driving her crazy. Either she's going through this right now, or as time go on, this is how she's going to become. She's going to feel very stressed and be full of anxiety. And it's not going to help her, because she is, I believe, in her mid-70s. So she's not, a young woman. She's an older woman. And, as you get older, you don't want to take on unnecessary stress, right? So I feel that she is, in fact, going to wind up stressing herself out all behind this, all because of her pursuit with this life insurance, right? Now we move over to the next set of cards. We have here the Emperor, and we have here the Hangman. So this is again Priscilla. This is her waiting for the results, waiting to get some type of updates pertaining to this situation. But the Emperor is that she's going to feel that she's going to be losing power, because the Emperor is a card on energy about empowerment, right? Taking your power back or feeling empowered. That, if you will, when it comes to this, having power of attorney, if you will, because this is like a legal situation. But I feel that, again, she's going to see signs that she's going to lose that power that she think that she will have pertaining to this situation. And then the next card to round out the last tarot card here was the Six of Swords. This is her energy again, and from the looks of it, it seems like the result will not go in her favor, and eventually she will have no choice but to give up and know that she has lost, because the Six of Swords is moving away. You know, things not turning out as you thought. You know, you tried, you gave it your best shot, but basically, ultimately, you have to just let it go. Let it go and move on. And this is why I feel that the Six of Swords pertains to what might potentially be the outcome for her, that she will lose this battle. Now, to clarify that, we have here main female along with great fortune. This main female now is Riley, right? And great fortune. So I feel that she ultimately is going to be left with being the sole proprietor or the beneficiary of this trust. So that's why these two came here, to clarify everything else with the other energies of the card. And the reason why I feel that Riley will remain the beneficiary, it's because we have here high honor. High honor is something or someone that is highly respected, or to give respect to. And in other readings, in scenarios, it can mean other things. But for this particular reading, the high honor popped up because I feel that ultimately the court is going to respect and honor this amendment trust and leave this as is, with Riley, Lisa Marie's daughter, being the sole proprietor or the main beneficiary to this. They're going to honor Lisa's wishes behind this. This is what I truly feel that is going to happen, and this is why I feel that this came out high honor. So to me, that what that symbolizes. Now, as we close out, we have here message of concern and sudden wealth. Remember earlier, remember that I mentioned that Priscilla is going to get a message verifying that in fact she may have lost this battle, or that she will not receive that life insurance, and that it will in fact go to her granddaughter Riley. So that's what I got, that this message of concern here is going to be some kind of update or verification in terms of letting her know the final result and the outcome behind this battle that is taking place right now. So like I said, guys, that is what I got. And so combined with my intuition and the spread here, this is how I feel things will perhaps turn out. Again, nothing is set in stone. Time is fluid. Anything can change behind this reading, but because I am currently reading it as it is, this is how it stands, and this is what I will stick to and feel moving ahead. So basically, we just have to wait to see how things play out. If I come back to do a third part behind it to kind of like come back to give an update, I may do so. But guys, this is how I feel. And ultimately, like I said, I really think that Priscilla is in for a very challenging battle. She may think that, you know, she could win, and it's possible, but it's going to be a very challenging one. So we're going to see how that all plays out. All right, my Meaningful Intuitive Guided Tarot community, I thank you for watching. If in fact you would like to share your own interpretation of what you may think and how this may play out, by all means, give me some feedback into the comment. Please be respectful. And like I said, we will see how this all goes. We will follow events as this all changes. All right, guys. So until the next read, I'm wishing all of you a wonderful Monday. Peace, love, and light. Bye.